everyone out there in podcast land. This is your host, Severin Henderson, coming again with another episode of Department 3C Presents a Podcast. Connected to Fire. Got that name now, so got to hit you with it. Anyway, today's episode is going to be about entrepreneurial journeys, stuff to do outside of the fire service. So often we get stuck inside of the service, and this is what we're gonna do, this is who we're gonna work for. I got this lieutenant, I got this captain, I got this chief, I got this other chief, I got this commissioner. Sometimes we need to take some time for ourselves and do things for ourselves, and to me that means business-wise, having a viable business for yourself. Like I always say, I have my hands in a lot of different pots, and that's a good thing. I like to stay what I call positively busy. I'm not just being busy for busy's sake, but I want to be able to do stuff where I'm actively and positively busy doing things that are pushing the needle for me, keeping me sane, keeping me able to do more things, keeping me able to deal with the stressors of the job. Because at the same time, what we talk about a lot on this show is mental health and how stressful this job can be. You need to do something other than be on duty all the time. It's called hypervigilance, and it is not a good thing. It's good to be aware, to know your surroundings and everything that's going on, but at the same time, you don't want to just be on to the point where you can't turn it off. That's not good. That's not healthy. That's not what we promote here on this show. So this episode is going to be about entrepreneurial journeys, things that I offer, things that my guest offers, and what my guest does when they're not on duty all of the time. So we were intending to talk about all this in one big episode, but the first episode got to be so good, I figured we would cut it, and then he deserved to come on for a part two. So this will be your third time on, because you was on before. We cut the second one, and now this is going to be a third one. Darell Payne, engineer for the Chicago Fire Department. How are you, sir?
I am good, sir. It's DP, baby. So, yes, I am blessed and happy to be here for time number 3.
Time number 3. I like it. So, like I said, originally we had a plan. I invited a bunch of other people, and this was going to be a whole studio session, just engineer for the day. We were pretty much just going to talk about driving around, getting guys to where they need to get to, doing the job. But now we're going to switch it up. We're going to talk about, like I said, what to do outside of the job, off the job. So not a whole bunch of fire stuff. If you want to hear a bunch of fire related topics, listen to another episode, or keep listening to this episode. That's what I would encourage you to do, because, you know, at the end of the day, we're here to serve. Even in our business lives, we're here to serve.
That's
so
right.
Darell,
yes,
tell us about some of the first episode you were here, we talked about you in real estate.
Yes.
But let's talk about kind of what you do outside of work, what you do when you offer the job.
Oh, wow. So the job itself allows me ample time to do so much. I spoke a little bit about this on the last time I was on a podcast doing the engineer episode. I took it for granted how great the freedom of time was. So one of the number one things was spending time, especially with my son. When I got on the job, my son was 4 years old, and the time I spent with him was unbelievable.
And now he a whole man.
And now I know he actually he turned 13 years old, so we had our own little makeshift passing through to manhood ceremony. He got a chance to go to a restaurant on his own and place his own order with his friend and his cousin. Me and mom left him by themselves. He paid for it and took care of the tip and everything, and I was no more than an Uber. So that dude, he's a big guy. He's actually going to 8th grade next year, so I'm about to have a high schooler, and that's a whole nother story. But so super excited about that. But I'm comfortable with him doing a lot of that type of stuff because of the time I spent with him when I was off, being off the job. I do my 24, but then 48, a lot of that time went to my son. As time went on, I started doing so many other things in regards to the fire service. So I instruct, I teach for IFSI, I've taught for NISTA, I teach for Polaris, a lot of different companies. USAR, Task Force 1, hazmat specialist, so that take time away from the house. And then on top of all of that, then I still have entrepreneurial task or entrepreneurial ventures that I'm actually going after. So then I do real estate. I teach. I'm an instructor in Chicago style stepping. People are actually trying to pull me into this year's world's largest contest, which I'm not all the way vetted into yet. But that still might happen. So every year, the Majestic Gents, which is an organization that's been in stepping probably now for the last, 40 years, they throw a contest for steppers. And if you're familiar with Chicago style stepping, if you're not familiar with it, and I hate to even use this guy's name, hopefully it does not show poorly on his podcast, but if R. Kelly and the Stepping in the Name of Love, it's that type of stepping. Now,
I mean, he made it popular.
True steppers do not like R. Kelly and have nothing to do with the whole court case. Real stepping music is not R. Kelly's music.
Right.
That's more or less that's the faddish part of stepping.
Yeah.
So
kind of take off and try and do something off of what you see as popular.
Exactly. So when you see people say step in the name of love, 9 times out of 10 they stepping because that's a song that has the word stepping in it, and they feel they should slide around the floor. But a real stepper. A real stepper is it's a very specific beat that they're looking for. It's very specific music. There's old school steppers, new school steppers. You'll see them do trios. You'll see them do walking. So I actually I instruct in that. I do private lessons in that, and I have actually competed. And that's a part of my life that some people know about. A lot of people don't. But that's a major thing too. And I've been getting pulled into it a lot more. I've had a lot of more private lessons as of recently than I had probably in the last 8 years, because when I first got in the fire service, that was one hat that I actually took off. So yeah, with that, and then in the whole real estate thing, and the first time I was actually on the show, I spoke about it, and all the challenges that I knew was coming, they hadn't came yet. Now I've dealt with them, and I'm here, and I'm still in it, and I'm still grinding, and nothing's changed, because your why have to be more important than the reason why it got to be the reason why you're doing it. It can't be money. It literally cannot be money motivated, because with all the crap that I had going on recently in the real estate world, with the high prices in lumber and contractors losing their mind and just different relationship things that has happened, if it was just about money, I would have been out. But I want to be able to provide an awesome product with renovations and buying and selling and renting out good properties to good people in these areas that seem to get lost in the shuffle or get lost to investors that's not from this city. And I really want to be able to provide something for them. So that's my why, and that moves me like drastically. And I want to show my son how to create passive income. So that's big for me too.
Okay, so passive income, generational wealth,
yes,
passing down all those good habits, good tactics, everything that, wasn't really a highlight for us probably growing up, and now it's in the forefront.
That's right.
We wanna do better. I mean, every generation has to do better than the generation previous to it. It doesn't have to, but that's what we would like to happen.
That's
so
right.
I'm with that. That sounds good. So speaking to the real estate side of things, I have a couple of hands in that arena too, but what I look for is more neglected properties. I also have some funding options for anyone who needs funding. I have a company that I work with, and in addition to that, if you can find me a neglected property, a property that's just way bad, and it just the worse the better. If you can find me that, I have some dough for you, or I have a trip for you, because I also am part of an incentive service where I can restaurant coupons, trips. I can send you to Vegas for 4 days, 3 nights. All you gotta do is sit through a presentation. Like I said, restaurants. I have.
All right, so let me do this. This is my third time on the podcast.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take a liberty here. I'm gonna turn into the host for a second.
Okay.
And let's do this. All right. So shout out real quick to everybody out there in podcast land. We have Severin Henderson here, and we're going to talk to him and find out all the things that he got going on in his life and what he's doing. Sev, talk to us. What's happening in your world?
Okay, so thank you. I appreciate that. Anytime you get to be, it's like you know what this is kind of like, riding in the backseat of your own car. Because it's like,
I'm on the spot.
I just want to see what it's like back here. I just want to ride sometimes.
That's right.
Somebody drive me around. So
No
I'm
doubt.
with it. So we all know what my name is. We know what the name of the show, Severin Henderson, Department 3C presents a podcast. And podcasting is one of the things that I do. While I go somewhere to do the podcast, I still have a connection to that. So if you would like to have a podcast and you need somewhere to go, you need a home, you need a microphone, contact me. Info at department3c.com. That's pretty much the answer for everything. I'm going to give out my phone number here. I have a toll-free number as well as a local Chicago number, and I have an office that we can go to and discuss all of these things as long as we make an appointment. I can't just pop up there. So I got one of those things.
That's right.
So the number is 855-969-3538. That's the toll-free number. And the local Chicago number is 773-696-2081. So those are the 3 ways you can get in contact with me, my email address and the 2 phone numbers. And like I said, I have podcasting going on. So if that's something you'd like to get into and want to know about, contact me. Publishing. I wrote my own book while we were at the academy. I wrote a book and I self-published it. So I now have a publishing company. If publishing is something that you want to get into, as far as written content, I have a hook for you there. Freelance writing. I like to write. I sit around, I create all day. It kind of gets me out of my head. It makes things feel better.
Writing and thinking.
Writing is thinking, yeah, because as the words come out, as I'm typing them, they don't come out as fast as when you're saying them, but they come out just at that right speed to let you know what you're thinking about as you're putting it down. So I put a portfolio on a site called Writer's Work, and my tagline is, I'm not a biter, I'm a writer for myself and others. So
that's right.
Just for fun. I also write on Medium, and I have a subscription service on Substack. Now, a lot of the other stuff goes into my entrepreneurial business because I'm not a business that just wants myself to thrive. I want everyone to thrive. I want anybody that's doing anything to be able to get it done, and I want to be who you come see to say, hey, how can I get it done? So I'm a website reseller through GoDaddy. I signed up for that. So if you need a website, you need a name, you need design, I got you. You need hosting, I got you. You need security, I got you. You need a business email address, I got you. Like I said before, I kind of dabble a little bit in real estate. The worse the property looks, the better. I can get you incentive deals on that, and I can pay you up to, I'm going to shoot out a number, but I can probably pay about $500 per deal. If I close a deal, I can pay you $500 if that deal closes on that vacant property.
That's a good referral fee.
Or that bad property that you found.
I can definitely say being in real estate, I can say that's a solid referral fee.
Thank you. In addition to that, I have a digital marketing agency. So while you come see me for all your business needs, we can still get you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere that people click, we can get your face there. We can get your business there. I have a digital marketing agency. I just signed up. I'm a public notary. So again, in real estate, I'm going to be doing loan signings coming up in the near future. So if that's something that you need, something notarized regular in the state of Illinois, holla at your boy.
Right.
In the business arena, I also have an interest in a company that supplies corporate filings, business structure and entity types, name, trademark, and registration, filing protection, tax filing services, compliance services, business filings, and corporate supplies. Anything you need to get that business going, I can help you out there. I can help you from your logo to your bank account to the colors to the font that you need to type. Anything that you need, I can help you with that business. Big. I can tell you if you should file as an S Corp, a C Corp, sole proprietorship, LLC, all of that. I can help you there. I just recently got into insurance sales, insurance on a term position. So if you need any insurance for yourself or your family, you can talk to me about that. I'm a public speaker, as you can tell from me speaking on this podcast.
That part. There you go.
I also help out in personal and business coaching. So my main focus is on the business coaching. I want to make sure that your business is correct and in line. But we can't get into business if we can't get into personal, right?
That's right.
I mean, sometimes we got to fix a little bit over here to get it right over there. So
I agree.
I'm a business coach by trade, but I also do personal coaching. It's a little bit more, and at the end of the day, everything costs a touch, but it won't be a touch that's going to hurt you too much. I also have credit counseling that I do. I do business and personal credit counseling. So if you feel like your numbers are low and they can get higher, I have a solution for that.
That's big.
Back to publishing a little bit. I do course creation. I create courses. What I do is I take information from multiple areas and I make a whole course. So I have alluring content. I have the self-care system. And all of these are found on Gumroad. So if you don't know what Gumroad is a platform where you can sell multiple services, and you can go look up Gumroad, www.gumroad.com/Department3C, and they'll show you everything that we have going on there. A lot of people are in the MLM. You know about MLM?
MLM, multi-level management?
Multi-level marketing. Marketing, yep. So a lot of people are into that. They want to get people up under them.
Yep.
They used to call it a pyramid scam. Some people still do. It depends on how you look at it. But if you work the system properly, it works out for you.
Correct.
Like I said, I've seen it work for people. I've seen people get taken. I have a formula for lead generation that will make it profitable for you. So I've done that for myself. To tell the truth, I hit my head against the wall so many times with so many different things that I took a lot of L's.
That's right.
But in taking these L's, I learned a lesson. Lot of lessons. They were losses, but they were lessons at the same time.
That's right.
And so I had the opportunity to learn from these, see where they're broken, create, and make something that much better. So I have a hook for you on lead generation. Like I said, business funding options. If you're a business, say you want to start a construction business.
Okay.
You have a decent credit score.
Okay.
You have a terrible credit score.
Okay.
I can help you get the equipment you need with that decent. Hopefully it's more on the better side, but I can help you get the equipment to start that construction company that you want to start. Say you want a concrete mixer. I can help you get that. Say
Okay.
you want a backhoe and front end loader, I can help you get that.
Okay.
Anything you need as far as business funding options, I can help you get that. Now we were talking about on the other podcast how sometimes it's hard to say no. I had an opportunity come past me for dustless blasting. You know what that is?
No, that sounds like something you do on the side of a building or a house that actually allowed to clean off debris or whatever from bricks.
I knew I had you on here for a reason. You're a smart dude. Graffiti, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It takes off graffiti without water. Dustless blasting. So I have a hook on that. If you want to get the equipment for that, if you want to get the funding or the financing for that, they say it's a $70,000 a year startup business. I don't know because I didn't take advantage of it, but
Okay.
I do have the connections to get you going in that direction if that's something that you feel like you want to start up doing as an entrepreneur.
Interesting.
We know here in this great city of Chicago, people tag everything all the time. They made spray paint illegal, but guess where I'm going to get it? Indiana.
That's right.
Well, not even Indiana. I mean, go to the south suburbs and get.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
You don't have to leave Illinois.
I'm thinking about guns and fireworks. Never mind.
Yeah, that's in Indiana.
Yeah. So, like I said, I can help you out with business funding options. No matter if your credit's good, bad, or indifferent, I got you. Where we meet for these meetings, I have a business holding. As long as we schedule, we got somewhere to meet. We can meet in the South Loop. I gave you my telephone numbers. And then just personally, I got to give these out because I wrote down this whole list of all the stuff that I do. I'm doing trading with crypto, Forex, stocks and options. I volunteer as an EMT instructor, and I'm going to be a level 1 EMT instructor coming up in the near future. IFSI, we talked
nice.
about that. We work together.
Yes, sir.
And we do that.
Yes, sir.
I'm not good yet. Not as good as you, but
stop.
I'll get there.
Stop.
I also work for the city with the CPFTA as an instructor with the kids coming on.
Nice.
That are trying to learn how to be in
Heroes.
first response.
Next generation heroes. CFPTA.
Yep. And with the union, I'm the steward for my battalion. I'm on a couple of committees on the union, so I have my hand in a lot of things. And one final thing that I'm thinking about getting into is a company called Network Lead Exchange. And what that is just all leads. If you are a plumber and you need to get leads, I'm going to have you. If you're a lawyer, you need to get leads, I'm going to have you. Now, that notary spot, I'm going to soak that one up myself. But I'm saying at the same time, you can't close on a house without having a notary, right?
This is true.
Okay, so you know about that from
This is true.
real estate, so that's something I have my hand into. And that is, for now, everything that I do.
Okay, so the short story to that would be that I'm not doing enough because my list is nowhere near that length. Where I actually thought I was busy, now I feel like a slug.
No, don't feel like that.
But
Don't
no,
feel like
that is awesome. So again, I want to stick with the host position for a second.
You got it.
I want to stick with the host position. With all of the entrepreneurial business ventures that you have taken on, the things that you have said yes to, what is your biggest obstacle with these things? So what I'm saying is, you are not just the things you name. You are also a full-time firefighter. You are also a father. You are also a husband. So with all that being said, what's your biggest obstacles right now?
Great question. My biggest obstacles is, like we were talking about, knowing when to say no. So I've said a yes to a lot of things, and I am very intentional. Like when my yeses mean yeses, my no means no. So when I say yes, I'm going to help you. Yes, I'm going to do this. I mean it. And when I say no, I mean it at the same time.
That's right.
So that's my biggest obstacle, is knowing how to weigh things and when to say yes, when to say no. A lot of people say, "Are you? What's that actor's name that was in Limitless?" Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
You know a movie I'm
Yes,
talking about? They
yes.
said, "Are you on a limitless pill? What's
Yes.
going on with you?" As long as scheduling equals success.
Okay.
As long as I can schedule it, I know I got success coming to me. We work 1 day on, 3 days off. 2 days off. We're very fortunate, and we have a great opportunity in front of us. And I personally just don't want to use those 2 days off working for somebody else. I'd rather work for me on those 2 days off.
I can't argue
that energy there is what kind of keeps me going.
I definitely can't argue that. So let me ask you this. With so much going on, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yes.
Do you think that things are suffering based on how thinly you are spread it?
No.
Okay. How do you keep that under wraps?
I'm like Kerrygold butter. A little bit goes a long way. So why you got to spread it thin on the bread? That little bit that you spread on there goes a long way.
Okay.
So I'm able to focus on a lot of different things. It's just like I said, scheduling equals success. So as long as I can look at something and focus on that for that amount of time. And another big thing I use is the Pomodoro method. That's where you take a specific amount of time, you focus on one specific subject, then you take a little break.
Correct.
They have it down to 25 minutes. I turn mine up to 45 minutes.
Okay.
45 on, 15 off. Come back. Either I'm still stuck on what I was going to do, or I'm on to something else.
Correct. Okay. I'm familiar with that method. I don't use it. I am a avid. I don't even know the term to use. I don't want to use the word crammer, but when I'm in, I do things in seasons. So what ends up happening, I could honestly take 2 to 3 months, and I will slam myself for 8 to 10 hours a day with information on that thing until I am more than solid with it. And then once I get to that point, I feel that I can handle that and add something else on.
Yep.
And again, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's weird.
We ain't got no psychologists on here yet.
Right.
But I agree with. I had a buddy one time. I'll tell you a quick story. I'll tell the listeners a quick story.
Okay.
And these people will probably know who I'm talking about. I have a buddy, and I was telling him, say, yeah, me and my dude, we're gonna do a barbecue contest. We're going to go out here. We're going to cook this food. We're going to win. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. He said, well, what you cooking it on? You ain't just doing it on a regular Kingsford grill. I'm like, nah. My dude got a grill so big, he got a trailer with a car, and they got a license plate on it. You hit the brakes, and the lights
got
pop
its
up.
own zip code.
Yep. And he said, man, your dude sound like he really into it. Why is he like that? And I said, why are you like that? Because my dude, the guy I was talking to, this is the biggest fisher person ever in the history of fish life. And then, like, I'm cool with fishing. I like fishing, but I want to keep what I catch. This dude throw them all back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
He is a true sportsman.
He's a true sportsman. This dude drive out of town.
Oh, wow.
And I guess I should have prefaced the story with that. But the thing is, he asked me, he said, why is your friend like that? Why you like that?
Yeah.
All my friends, and you one of my friends too, have that same thing. We do what we do to death.
Yeah.
So my buddy Matt,
that's true.
I've been trying to get him on here for forever. He keep dodging me because he said, I don't want to talk about myself. Go hard or go home, Matt.
That's right.
And that's why he's my friend, because we all have this drive in us. I feel like that's part of the reason for the job. That's part of our connection. That's part of why we're all the way that we are, is because we have this drive inside of us. And then additionally to that, we're doing this not just for us, but we're doing this for the public. Now, I'm sorry I had to bring it back to fire, but that's the name
No,
of the
that's
show.
good.
Connected
That's good.
to fire.
That's right.
The thing about it is early in my career, and a lot of guys still hope and pray and do this right now. Oh, I wish we get a fire. Oh, I hope we get a fire. Oh, I want to get a fire. I've passed that part because while I do love to go to work, somebody's stuff is getting messed up.
Yeah.
While we're going to work.
Yeah.
So my major happiness and joy in this job is being able to help people and save people and serve people at the same time.
So you said a mouthful. So I'm going to take a liberty real quick and step into this. In my candidacy, okay, what you just said. Oh, I hope I get a fire. I hope I get a fire. And once I caught enough fires, and I realized nobody was unfortunate, was hurt, was super injured, none of that stuff. Firefighters, we tend to put our bodies on the line at fire. So again, there are things that would happen,
but inanimate objects.
For inanimate objects, so that says a lot right there. But I've been fortunate thus far, and I hope, knock on wood, that the rest of my career allows me to continue to be fortunate. But everybody made it out, so that's a major plus for me. But even on top of that, when you make it to the next step or next stages, somebody lost their property. Somebody lost 20, 30 years of memories. Somebody lost, their future residence where they thought their kids would actually take.
That generational wealth you was talking about.
So I actually sat there and started thinking, like, this is not nothing I need to be wishing on so I can go to work. So what I realized is fires are inevitable. So what I said is, when they happen, not that I want to be there, I want to make myself good enough where you want me there. Like, if something happened, you don't know me as a firefighter, but trust and believe me, you want me on that scene because I'm going to do that job to make sure you're safe, as much of your property is possibly saved. If you're the house next door, that exposure is not going to catch on fire. We don't have to worry about your eaves or that roof. Those are things that I can do, and it's more about the people than it's about me getting work. So I had to grow into that from being a candidate. But keeping it on the path of entrepreneurship, it's the same. It's really the same thing. Like you say, that's our connection. It's people over profit. If you're motivated from what you're doing because you're providing something for a group of people, a specific target market, whatever the case is, and you're connected to that market, you're going to actually provide the best service to those people, regardless of the profit. You'll be surprised how much I do that I know other people do as well. Like, I use the stepping as an example. I will instruct and I will teach a whole entire workshop, and I will do it for $10 to $15 a person. Well, I know people are charging people $25, $30, $45. It's not about the money for me. For me, it's more important that I'm providing something that you want and something that you need. And what happens is people will actually come back to me and talk to me, and they'll be like, hey, you know what? I got another benefit out of this. It's so amazing how many, especially, I'm not trying to be, gender specific, but it's more women that come to me and say, it's amazing how much weight I lost because of this. Like, this is so active. Like, if you're not an active person, you're somebody that's not working out 2, 3, 4 times a week, but you come to my class and you're getting this movement for 2 hours at a time, and then you look up and you wasn't working out, but what you found out was you was burning calories. And while you was burning calories, you looked up and in 3 months, you lost 7, 8, 9 pounds. Now, was that my goal? Not at all. But if you got that benefit out of it, great. It's more people oriented. So I have actually changed the end of my class when I do a workshop to make sure it's more upbeat, up tempo, where you actually burning more calories. I tell people, bring a bottle of water and a towel because you're gonna get a workout in this class today. And it's really based on the feedback that I'm getting from the people that I'm serving. So again, it's just like you got so many things going on, and you have so many different markets that you have to be, I guess, aware of the external environments of those particular markets. How do you service that many industries or that many target markets?
Well, the thing is, that's a great question. The thing is, a lot of the stuff fits together. Pretty much what I want to help with is a business owner being able to have a business. We have a mutual person we know. I've helped her do a lot of stuff, and some stuff I just got to hold her hand, like, hey, come on, we gonna do this together. We're gonna do this together. And some people need that, so it's kind of like a counselor, motivating type of thing, right?
Big brother.
Yes. Like, come on, we gonna get this done. We gonna get this done. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, as long as I'm helping somebody, whether on this job or whether on that, and I don't want to call that a job. I really don't even want to call what we do a job, but you know, that's what it's called.
True.
But as long as I'm helping somebody in my journey in life, I'm more than content. In my writing, I wrote a blog post about they only love you when you do what you want them to do, because people only tend to love you when you do what they want you to do.
Correct.
So to speak to that, and like I said, that's just the writing. That's the thing I do to get stuff off my chest and to put things out there for perspective. I just want to help. I'm just here to serve. I'm just here to push things along, to make things easier for the next person. And if I can help somebody else, anything I want is going to come back to me regardless.
Okay. I'm going to go back in the devil's advocate real quick. Okay. So helping somebody, especially when, and this sounds a little weird, helping somebody when you know factually that what you're doing is a positive form, and then you get pushback. So, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is we're kindred spirits. We share a lot of similarities.
Yep.
So sticking to helping a person, even though they're not doing the things they need to do necessarily to help themselves.
That's what I'm talking about. People only love you when they're doing what you want them to do.
So how committed are you with sticking to what you know is right?
It's very difficult.
Okay.
It's very hard. I'm not saying it like it's an easy thing. I'm having a time of myself at home with personal stuff going on. But at the same time, I have to take those L's, those losses, and turn them into lessons.
Yes.
And as long as we keep growing, we keep moving, we keep maturing, and we keep moving in a positive manner, then I feel like everything will be good at the end of the day. I'm the eternal optimist. I mean, I see this glass half full all the time.
Same.
And I try my best, because sitting around, and I do this all day. I sit around, I feel bad, I cry to myself, I feel bad for myself, I put myself down, everything else. But eventually, out of that storm has to come some light.
No doubt.
So I was driving on a road trip, and it was pouring rain. It was like somebody was pouring buckets from the sky. Like cars was pulling over. They had their flashers on, all this other kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh man, should I pull over too? Should I keep going? I said, I'm gonna just keep going, because eventually I'm gonna drive out of this storm.
That's right.
As bad as I feel, and I felt terrible at times, if I keep moving,
No doubt.
I'm gonna get out of it.
I agree.
And like I said, from
I agree.
personal experience, people like sometimes I feel like the only people that listen to this podcast is my family. That's fine.
And that's fine.
I'm talking to y'all.
If you can help them,
Y'all know how bad and what kind of spots I've been in, but I keep moving, and then I'm able to wake back up and get back going. And at the end of the day, if just these little punk words that I'm saying now help somebody out. You ever watch Rick and Morty?
one of my favorite shows.
Okay, so did you see just the last episode with the president?
Yes, I did.
And he said, it's not about the speech, but it's about the words.
Yeah.
And they had my man, what's his name? David Keefe, I think that's his name. He got that voice. Silver Throat, I think is his name on Instagram. And he said, it's not about the speech. It's about the words. And the words that I have to say to you. And it's not about what we're going to do, but what we've done. And he just got up there and said some stuff. And they said, lock and load. I didn't mean that as a question. Lock and load.
Right,
Let's
right.
go. Ah. So that's the thing. I feel terrible. I feel bad. I beat myself up. Ooh, and can't nobody beat me up like I beat me up.
Oh, we.
So I'm sure we
That's
all.
the way it's supposed to be, though.
I don't know about that.
No,
but
it's supposed to be that way. If you make yourself your roughest critic, anybody above that is being unfair in some way. They're being immature in some way. They're not taking accountability or responsibility in some way. Because I'm always looking at me. Mm-hmm. What could I have done different? And if I've identified what I could have done different, and I have reached out and said this could have been done different, or that could have been
especially when
different,
I'm wrong.
especially when I'm wrong, but God
Yeah.
forbid I'm right, but I could have just used a different tactic. Okay, so in that case, I could have said this, but the outcome was what you and I both wanted, and you're still on me. You're being unfair.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I prefer to be my toughest critic. That's like super important to me.
I would like that to be the case, and sometimes
Not always the point.
I mean, when you put yourself out there for the public, i.e.,
No
this
doubt.
podcast, I mean, eventually, like I get some emails and be like, you think, why should you have a mic, and who are you
Wow.
talking to, and why? Thank you.
Those are trolls.
Thank you.
Who
I appreciate
cares? Who cares? Because probably, I'll see, I'm the person that you need to have around you for those type of things. I have the perfect personality for that stupidity. Like, it's always good to have a balance. Like, somebody be like, oh, it's not worth dealing with those. I'm not that person. I'm the person that I really want to, I would like to crush you to the point where you go seek help. Really, because you're probably in somebody's basement with a bunch of Cheeto dust on you or something, and you know your whole life is based on going and trolling
judging
people. Yeah, and it's a joke, and I would take more offense. And this is just me. I am more protective towards friends, family than I am to myself. So when it's somebody that I see that's really moving forward, hey, I'm that dude that like, hey, let me move that horse for you. Let me move that cone for you. Let me move that pylon for you out your way so you don't have to focus on it and you can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, again, who watched the watcher? You know what I'm saying? If
Who
you
watches
really
the
got
watcher?
who watches the watcher? You know, am I my brother's keeper? If you my brother, then I really need to be able to keep you moving forward. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that's just how I am. Now, again, it'll turn around and that same troll may say something to me. I'll be like, dude, get the hell away from me. And I wouldn't even say anything to
Wouldn't
him.
even care about
but
that.
It
but
literally
it's like,
bothers me
it's how
when
they
it's somebody
attack
else.
somebody else.
Yeah, that bugs me.
Yeah,
That really bugs me.
That's kind of what I wrote about in that blog post. So back to what I do. Like I said, Substack, Medium, www.department3c.com. You can find all my blog posts. DP.
Yes, sir.
We gonna get out of here. Thank
Let's
you
get
for
outta here.
taking over hosting duties.
Without a doubt,
appreciate
man.
that. We had some extra recordings going on. Everything that died.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes, my phone. I know my wife is calling me. I'm gonna have a whole skit once I get in the car and charge.
Just play her this.
And charge my phone up. I'm gonna have 17 missed calls and 32 text messages. Why you're not answering your phone? But like, hey, I can prove where I was in a minute. Just let my phone charge up. You'll be all right.
Blame it on your boy. It's all good.
It's all good.
Thank you very much for coming through. Thank you for
sir.
showing up, because it would have been very awkward and very weird
by
to
yourself.
have this conversation by myself.
Because I was Dion. All by myself. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't sing.
It's fine. I was coming in here and I was laying something down. It's like an artist. Like this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I want to be the Jay-Z of podcasting.
All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's go. We put it out there. It's in the atmosphere. Young Hove, also known as Sev.
And writing too. Content creation. I just want to be, I can't rap for real, so let me talk about it.
It's okay.
Anyway,
there you go.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming through. We're going to get out of here. As always, be good. Talk to you later. Bye.
This has been a Fire and Iron Media production. You have something to say, people want to listen.